everybody, this is Patty, and thank you so much for watching my first video, and thank all of you for your very kind comments. And so many of you subscribed. That's really exciting. I really do appreciate it. I really didn't know what to expect on here, but I've had so much encouragement to keep doing these videos, so that's what I plan on doing. Well, I told you in my last video that this next one I would do the 50 most interesting things so that you could get to know me just a little bit better. So I'm going to have to look down. I apologize for that. So here goes. Number one, I had been single for 30 years. I was married in my 20s, married for about 7 years, had a daughter, and then divorced. And I raised my daughter by myself. All these years, 30 some odd years, I had some great relationships and was engaged a couple of times, and for one reason or another, none of that ever worked out. But I was really okay with being alone. I have wonderful single girlfriends, so I knew that if I spent the rest of my life alone, unmarried, I would be just fine and be happy, and I was very happy. About 2 years ago, a wonderful man came into my life, and he, a year ago, this coming Valentine's Day, he asked me to marry him, and I, of course, said yes, and we were married in May, so I am really a newlywed. Now, the thing about marrying him was that he was established in a different part of our state, and it meant I had to relocate. And so I moved from the capital city of our state about 3 hours away, and we live in a beautiful home in the woods on the side of a mountain on a gravel road, and the population of this little community is like 484. But that's okay. I'm about 15 miles from a larger city, and what's really neat about that larger city is we have a brand new TJ Maxx. That's pretty much the extent of it, a super Walmart, TJ Maxx, and some little smaller shops and grocery stores and things like that. But we're only about 2.5 hours away from shopping malls in any direction, so that's good. We make those trips occasionally. So that's the first thing. I told you that I worked for 4 Fortune 500 companies, was retired from one of them after 26 years. I was a stewardess for Delta Airlines in the 60s and 70s. Some of the things that happened that I think are interesting was I ran off the end of the runway. As a matter of fact, it was the day before I was to get married all those years ago. But we did fine. We survived it, obviously. I had a man die on one of my flights. I had lots of celebrities on my flights. I had Diana Ross in the Supremes. I had Jimmy Durante all the time. For those of you who are old enough, I had Tiny Tim. Remember Tiptoe Through the Tulips? I flew a charter flight once for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was really an experience because it was from New Orleans back to Kansas City, and they had just won the game, and they were pretty crazy. Something really funny that happened to me when I was flying is I was working a DC-9, which is a small jet, and there are only 2 girls on it, and I was working in the galley up front. The lavatory was in the back. It was back when we wore those suits. If you've seen Pan Am, you have an idea of what our uniforms looked like back then. And when we went out on trips, usually we had our skirt and our jacket, and we carried a change in blouses so that we could at least change blouses. So it was the first leg of a 3-day flight for me. And I had not taken my coat, my jacket off, so I was in full uniform, and I was squatting down with all the tray carriers open. It didn't look like we were going to be able to get all the trays in because we had served a meal to the entire plane. And just as we were making our approach, we banked, and I was squatting down in the aisle putting trays in the tray carriers. He banked the plane, and everything came out on top of me. And the dessert that day was strawberry shortcake. So pretty much everybody on the plane saw it happen. I landed, unfortunately, in that position. And the lavatory was in the back, so all I could do was stand there and deplane passengers. I mean, covered in strawberry shortcake and everything else that was on those trays. So, and I had my one and only uniform on, and it was covered. So I did figure out how to make do. So that was pretty funny when it happened. Let's see. I've been on probably 20 to 30 cruises. Part of that is the company I retired from did cruise a lot, so I had the opportunity to cruise a whole lot with that company. I've been to Hawaii about 6 times. I've been to Germany, Austria, Italy, Mexico. I've been to the Bahamas several times. And none of that traveling was when I was with Delta. Let's see. I carried my first child with my first pregnancy for 10 months, and it was a little girl, and she died shortly after birth. And then I did go on to have another daughter. I'm very, very proud of my daughter. She is single, does not have any children. She does have a little 3-pound Chihuahua who is my granddog, and you'll probably hear me talk about my granddog. She's, I think, the cutest dog in the world. She's a pretty sweet little girl. After I retired, I've just worked forever, so when I retired, I still wanted to do something, and I worked part-time for Sephora, and I absolutely love that. I love the education that they give the employees of Sephora. You really are required to be experts on every product that is in those stores, and I always feel good now when I go into a Sephora because I know that those salespeople know what they're talking about. I have sailed on an America's Cup boat. I've flown in a single-engine plane. I drive a four-wheeler. We have a four-wheeler here. We go to Las Vegas a couple of times a year. In fact, I just got back not long ago, a week or so ago. We spent 5 days over New Year's in Las Vegas. That was a first for me. When I was younger, I was a Don Williams groupie, if you are familiar with the country music singer Don Williams. Let's see. I think I told you I modeled in my 20s. I enjoy all kinds of crafting. I knit, I paint, I draw, I crochet, I make jewelry, all kinds of things like that. I own a convertible. I'm not afraid of the computer. I tell you, I'm proud of myself for what I've been able to do with the computer. I meditate almost every day. I am a very strict vegetarian, and I have been for years with no cheats. My friends laugh at me because I say if it has a mother, I don't eat it. I will tell you that I don't do that for health benefits, although obviously there are many health benefits to it. I do it out of compassion. This is going to be crazy. You're not going to believe this, but I really don't like to shop. I buy a lot of things online. I am a home shopping and QVC and Shop NBC junkie. In fact, my daughter told me once she was going to put a block on the TV because every time she came to my house, there was a box at the front door. As I've told you earlier, I'm 68 and I take no medication whatsoever for anything. I can cook, but my husband cooks all the meals. My favorite food is spaghetti. I love to fish. This is pretty funny. Up until I got pregnant with my first child, I had never weighed 100 pounds. As a matter of fact, when I went to work for Delta, they told me I needed to gain a few pounds. I never did, and it was never a problem because they were sending girls home right and left because they were 2 and 3 pounds overweight, so I never had to worry about that. But when I got pregnant with that first pregnancy, I went from about 96 to 143, and I had a 6-pound baby. So what does that tell you? I did get pregnant really quick with my daughter and lost weight the whole pregnancy with my doctor watching me, and I think I weighed about 125 pounds when she was born. I ate spaghetti every day of my pregnancy. I also ate every day of, well, this is the first one. Every day I ate a piece of Shoney's hot fudge cake. So there goes that. That's probably that 45, 46 pounds right there. My daughter today, spaghetti is one of her favorite foods. Go figure, because I ate it every day with her too. I stayed off of the hot fudge cake with her with that pregnancy. Um, I think that has to be close to my 50. So I'm going to glance over my list and see if there's anything maybe I left off. I think that's it. So I appreciate you watching. Again, please comment. I would love to hear your comments. That's was just a hoot reading everything that you had to say. So leave me your comments and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. And as usual, I look forward to any suggestions that you may have. Go out and have a great day. Where I am, the weatherman predicted a little light dusting of snow overnight last night. We woke up this morning to the ground being pretty, not completely covered, but our deck is covered, and it's been snowing hard ever since. It's probably noon here today. So go out. If you're someplace where it's cold, stay warm. If you're someplace where it's sunny, stay cool. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Have a great day. Peace to you. Bye-bye.